Tampa Bay, 970 WFLA. Talking Fishing, going to be here until 8 o'clock.
Unfortunately, until 8 o'clock.
Lots going on today. Pretty special day for Dylan and I. As most of you know, I guess, if you have been listening that long, shame on you. You should find something quality to do on a Saturday morning. But if you have been listening for a while, you know the Saturday before Thanksgiving is a special day for us. We get to rock and roll and head over to Metropolitan Ministries to do our Fishing for Hope food drive. And the reason that we have the Fishing for Hope food drive is because of the gentleman that is joining us here this morning. Most of you, a lot of you will know him from his awesome TV show that I was lucky enough to be on once or twice. For the many years it was going. He is Captain Bill Miller. Good morning, my friend.
Morning, Mike. Morning, Dylan.
Good to see you, buddy.
Back for my annual visit.
It's good to have you, buddy.
Yeah, good to have you. Good to have you.
About something good today, so that's always fun to do.
Pull that microphone into you tight. Is he on over there good?
Yeah, easy to do.
He doesn't sound good in my headset. Does
It does not sound good in mine either. I don't know what it is. Just try to talk directly into
Derek,
the mic.
maybe Derek will.
Yeah.
Derek will
The
touch.
other mic that's on?
I don't.
There's two.
Maybe that's what it is. Let me switch that around for you.
That could be it.
I'm all tangled up myself.
It happens. It happens. We'll get it figured out.
I'll try.
There he is.
How does this sound?
That's better. I knew he was in there.
I was in the closet somewhere.
I knew he was in here.
But they locked me up in the closet, so just to get them out of their hair.
Dylan and I
It's amateur hour.
We didn't do you any favors, right?
That's our bad deal.
Yeah, that's totally our bad.
Once a year they invite me, and then they gross me out once I get in there.
Right. Let's beat him up a little bit. It's all good. We were talking before the show. Actually, let's try to get our weather update in here quick, and then we will dive into Fishing for Hope.
Yeah, the weather update is exciting right now.
It looks sexy, don't it?
I'm excited right now. We're on the backside of a cold front, backside of a last quarter moon. We're coming up to that new moon. That new moon is going to be a week from tomorrow, Sunday, coming up next weekend. So this work week, we're coming into that new moon. So we'll have better tidal flows, more flushing water. And then on top of that, we have that cold front potentially coming next week, Friday sometime, Friday afternoon. Mm-hmm. So we have a moving barometer this week on the backside of this cold front. That barometer will be rising. We've got a high pressure settling in kind of early mid-work week. Then behind that, we have that next low pressure approaching. And as that approaches our area, it should get those fish really excited. Those fish can sense that pressure coming in and that pressure changing, and generally they get really active. And then also, as we move through the work week, we'll see more of an incoming tide bite with that new moon incoming, full moon outgoing, right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
And then on top of that, also you have just a lot of moving fish right now. So these fish are moving around. That cold front's really got them staging. This is our first pretty decent cold front of the year.
Temp.
Yeah, and so those fish are on the move. So you want to be looking for those areas where you've got moving water, either tidal flow or wind-blown water, and structure, and then bait. So if you find the bait, if you find the birds, if you find the mullet, anywhere near structure, that could be a grass flat, an oyster bar, an island, a dock.
Bridges, passes, all that are going to fire off here. You don't have great tides here the next couple of days, but weather's going to be right. So,
and if you don't have good tides right now, at least today, you're going to have a little bit of a breeze, and that breeze can move the water enough too. So look for those areas where those fish can stage, because they're on the move, but they're going to stop in areas where they can stage and eat. So take advantage of it.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm in deer hunting mode, so the whole scene. We're leaving Friday morning to go back up to deer camp, and we'll be on the new moon. I'm excited about that. We like that dark at night, get them critters walking around in the daytime.
And we have a more high tide at night too, so that should help this week as well.
It should help for sure. Our weather update brought to you by our good friends at Reese Windows and Doors. Again, they're Florida's leading window and door company, over 50 years in business. Free installation, most windows and doors installed in just 6 weeks. They only use in-house installers, no freelance contractors. Their work comes with a double lifetime warranty, which is one of my favorite parts about Reese. What does that mean for you? It means that you never pay for any warranty work. You never pay for anything that needs to be done to yours, and the warranty transfers to new owners, which adds value to your home. Visit reesewindows.com for more information. So, sliding back into Fishing for Hope here, we were talking here before the show. I wish I knew exactly when we started it.
I've got it written down
Do you?
somewhere.
Yeah.
I got a file on the whole thing.
Yeah, it's such a neat event. We talk about it all the time. That if you haven't, I know a lot of you as you in your travels around Tampa Bay, you see Metropolitan Ministries, maybe you see some of their social media stuff, all that, but you don't really understand what a great benefit they are to the community, how much they actually do over there. This is always a cool day for us because we get to go over there and give back a little bit. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited myself. It's always a good time. There's so many people coming out and supporting the community, helping the community, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah. You know what'll be sad for me? No Richard Seward.
Yeah.
I mean, Richard Seward was such a big part of this. He was so excited and such an energetic piece of it for so long that I will miss Richard deeply this morning. I miss him all the time, but I'll miss him for sure as we do this bad boy.
I was right by his house yesterday.
Yeah.
2 blocks.
Okay. Yeah.
And I told Debbie, I said, Richard, right down the street, take a left. Richard lives right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, Richard was a great supporter of everything.
Everything. He gave back, man. He was a man of God, and he believed in giving back and all this great stuff he did for 6a-8a. I mean, he was an original member of the local chapter here and you know, one of the pioneers of getting 6a-8a to where they were. He fought diligently on the net ban, all that good stuff. You know, when we started this, I used to have that big old smile on his face, greeting people, just so happy to be there to help. I mean, it's a cool event. Capt Mel too. I see Mel standing there for some reason. Whenever I think about this event, I think about the first ones and how just awe-inspired I was to be just standing there as Mel was greeting people with that smooth, cool voice of his, man. You know, Frank Sargent. You mentioned Frank Sargent this morning. I mean, the great Frank Sargent was involved too early on. So.
Yeah, Frank gets up early.
Oh,
he's probably listening.
He listens. Every now and then we get the chance to talk about him and all the great things he does and how much we miss having that killer article every week, all the great reports he did, all the great writings he did, and then every now and then he'll drop me a little email and let us know he was listening, or if we actually have a good show, which is like once or twice a year, he'll let us know that we had a good one finally. So yeah, a lot of great the fishing legends here. Now we got the youngster. Now we got D Hubs involved.
The youngster.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
The pup.
I think this is my 3rd Fishing for Hope.
Okay.
And it's a good time. I'm excited about it. And like I said, it's just a good feeling to give back to the community, and it's our chance to try to help amplify that message. And it was cool. Fox 13 let us promote it yesterday, so hopefully there's a great turnout. Again, that's 2609 North Rome Avenue is where we're going to be today from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you want to come out and join us, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, bring, you know, we talk about it all the time. There's unfortunately, there's lots of families, too many families, in my opinion, that just don't have the wherewithal to load the dinner table for Thanksgiving, and Metropolitan Ministries tries to step up and help those people out a bunch, and that's what we're there for. So if you go by the store this morning, turkeys and hams and non-perishables, you know, we're taking all that stuff in. You don't even have to get out of your vehicle. You can just pull up. We'll be there to greet you, unload your vehicle for you, get you a tax thing for your donation, and get you hooked up. It's a really cool thing. If you love to fish, come by, get a picture with Captain Bill Miller, with Captain D Hubs here, whatever it is, just pull together. We've talked about it. Remember the one year we had the bikers show up?
Yeah. The story is it was at a different location. Actually at the campus of Metropolitan Ministries
on Florida Avenue.
And the very, I think it was first year,
might have been, yeah,
whatever it was. This guy pulls in on a big Harley, you know, had all his leathers on and the whole thing. And he said, it was early too. Yeah, we had just started and didn't know what to expect. And the guy comes in and he pulls up to me and he says, "Hey, I heard you guys on the radio." I guess he had a radio system. And he said, I don't have much, but I hope this will help. Give me $5.
It helps though. Every little bit.
No,
helps.
It's not how much, it's the spirit in which you give.
100%. Yeah. And, yeah. We appreciate, and if, I've talked about this in years past too, and it's something I highly recommend to people. When we first started doing it, Beth and Georgia came, and Georgia and Beth and I got the tour of Metropolitan Ministries over there. And once you get behind the scenes and really start to understand all the incredible things they do over there, the logistics of what they do and the amount of effort and time and volunteers, and you see people getting fed, you see people loading up boxes and bags and them actually making the donations to people. I thought it was so cool because we took Georgia, gave her kind of the tour. I think she had a couple of her basketball girlfriends with her, some teammates. And then the next thing, 1 year later, we had the whole team was there. This year, my good friend Mike Bowers, who's the head volleyball coach at Sefner Christian, he brought it up, saw my social media post, brought it up to his team. So he's got a bunch of his volleyball players and their families coming to help us. So I think that's really an important step. I love that part about Georgia. Looked forward to this thing every year. She's working today. She works for a big fire water damage restoration company now that's knee deep in the hurricane recovery still. So she'll be working today. But she used to love just coming out and being a part of it. And I think it's a really good message to get to your children. Especially Georgia's never been without. She's always woke up in the morning and opened up the fridge and opened up the cupboard and got to pick and choose what she wanted for breakfast. And unfortunately, not everybody gets to do that. So it's kind of a cool opportunity.
And it's so cool the seeing all the food come in. And this Fishing for Hope food drive brings in a lot of food. And it's amazing, all these carts full of food that is collected, and it's great impact on the community. But looking around that tent, I mean, our impact is definitely significant. But when you go walking through that tent of what's there already and how much work they put into it and how many people are a part of it, it's just awe-inspiring.
And if you take 2 seconds, I can't remember. Do you remember how much food we brought in last year, Bill? 20,000 pounds or something?
I had
crazy,
24 in my
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. So when you think of that, we bring that in sometimes in just a morning, and the amount of food that's already there, it should blow your mind that there's that much food going out to hungry people in our backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, that should make you stop what you're doing right now and scratch your head and wonder why we have that situation, because it's just silly to me. So we are going to talk some fishing this morning. We have, again, one of my heroes growing up in the fishing business here in the Bay Area. Captain Bill Miller, hooked on fishing fans, got his Mercury jacket on, his mirror hat. The way I'd expect to see him.
That jacket, though.
I might take a look at it. I'll let you touch it. You put it on. You come out when you put that stuff when I first started the TV show, there was...
Can you put those on the other side just so we're not blocking that?
The cable TV had just started. And that's how Hooked on Fishing started.
How it took off so well.
They were county by county.
Okay.
And the guys that they leased Channel 47 from, whoever it was at the time that owned it. And so they needed programming and I knew them. Anyway, we got to talk, so we did the show. We just went into some guy's office, put some cameras in there, turned it on. We were going.
Yeah.
And we didn't
Life was simpler.
Yeah, we didn't make diddly. I didn't make a dime for 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
But then people started getting cable in their house.
Yeah.
And then people started saying, hey, there's something here. Let's buy the whole market. Let's go and buy all the separate and now I got these.
Yeah.
And then I got these up here and these up here. And then that's when cable took off. That's when we finally started making some money on the thing. But that was the early days of cable TV.
Well, now there's so many people doing shows on digital.
Yeah, I flip around a little bit and I'm thinking, look at all this stuff.
Yeah. Everybody and their brother has a digital television show or especially the podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a podcast. It's crazy.
Well,
and there's so many great podcasts out there. It's like you don't have enough time in the day.
The reality,
I'll be back, guys.
the reality, in my opinion, is not everyone should have a podcast.
Yeah. Well, the barrier to entry is really low, right?
Yes, that's the bonus and the problem, if you will.
Yeah.
Is that it? It's easy to get
One
into.
thing they didn't do is Metro Ministries didn't make a Fishing for Hope page on their website, unfortunately. So I don't have a way to dedicate things to Fishing for Hope. I wanted them to create a Fishing for Hope page, so anything donated on that page gets
To our
credited.
credit.
Yeah. They have a comment option, so.
Did you want to talk about my buck?
What?
Did you want to talk about
Oh, yes,
my buck?
please. Yes, we've got some things to talk about there. Red snapper reopening.
When does that start?
It's still going. The original season's still going
Okay.
now, but they added 17 more days.
Oh, wow.
So we can talk about that.
Got Mike Perry's on the line, too.
Did you get my text about Fogel?
Yeah.
All right.
He cracks me up. It's okay, Jim. We don't have to do it.
Yeah,
It'll be okay.
I didn't have the heart to text him that back.
I know. I mean,
And I love how he texted me that so passive aggressively.
well, it's not even. I don't even think it's passive aggressive. He just probably figures he's got a better chance of getting a
hold of
response
me.
from you than me. Mike avoids me at times, which isn't really true. I just get running and gunning.
You're better at answering texts than I am. You always text back.
You got 8 million things going on.
I answer texts like once every 2 days. What gets me is like corporate America, like Fox 13 and media companies, and like now the TDC. They love sending emails, and they like send an email like it's a text message, like they expect you to get it right away.
Right away.
And then they're like, "Hey, can you call me in an hour?" And it's like, I got this 3 days after you sent it, bud. We're back.
Shout out to our main man, Derek. We will be there. 2609 Rome Avenue is where the holiday tent is, and that's where we will be.
North Rome.
North Rome.
You were close, though.
I almost said East Rome. I just really wanted to throw people off. We'll see if you can find it. Yes.
If you know where Rick's on the River is, you can see it from there.
Yes, you can.
You just look for the Metropolitan Ministries holiday tent.
When I pull in the parking lot
can't
there,
miss it.
I immediately think of running up the river to get oysters at Rick's on the River. They make some really good oysters. They do a really good job with their oysters up there. So, anyway,
Oysters are the best.
I regress to food. Go figure.
Yeah, me and Travis were in here last week, and we didn't have Yes on 2 to talk about. It devolved quickly. Yeah, we were talking about hot dogs versus cheeseburger. Speaking of, if you guys were at a barbecue and you walked up to the grill and the food is ready and they have hot dogs or hamburgers, what are you going to choose?
What do you think, Bill?
I'm going to choose a hamburger every time. Although I like hot dogs.
Yeah.
But they're a once in every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a burger guy for sure.
Yeah, you got to
Thank you guys. I feel like I'm at home again.
But there's a time and a place. Like if I'm at a ball game, I don't want a burger. I want a dog.
Got to have a dog.
Got to have a dog. Go to a Rays game. Got to have a dog.
Here's something interesting about that. The guy asked me one time, says, I want a hot dog. He says, you want spicy mustard or you want ballpark mustard? And I went, what? He said, ballpark mustard, regular mustard. Oh, yeah. Ballpark mustard. That right. Give me some ballpark mustard.
Interesting. I've never heard that term before.
I like that.
But it makes sense.
Here's the other thing. Costco hot dogs are good. Have you had a Costco dog?
Yeah. I grew up, we are at Hubbard's. We're not quite big enough for Cisco. So we shop at Sam's Club for all our galley stuff.
Yeah.
And we go to Sam's Club a lot. And back in the day, my dad was the one who would go there all the time. So he drugged me for many, many years at a young age. And that was a go-to. Oh, I'll go to Sam's Club with you because I knew I was going to get a hot dog.
Exactly. $1.50.
You know Mark Hubbard. If it's under $1 and he can feed his kid, he's in.
We're double dipping this trip.
Oh, yeah, buddy. We're going to Sam's Club and feeding the kids.
Let's go to the phones here real quick. Let's get in Captain Mike Perry from Big Pine Key. Michael, how are you this morning?
Hey, fellas. My thoughts and prayers are with everybody still reeling from the hurricane, and I'm sorry I can't be with you guys today. Bill was looking forward to it, but I, too, had to catch up on charters that I missed because I was doing my other job during those hurricanes, being a nurse.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of that going on, dude. A lot of people still reeling and still trying to get recovered from, back-to-back hurricanes. So it's understandable, buddy. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and you will be missed. But we understand. We're gonna go there and try to just bring in as much as we can and help as many people as we can. It kind of amplifies the problem if you think about those people that are struggling just to put food on the table, and then they're also probably recovering in some way, shape, or form from the hurricane. You got a lot of people still displaced from their jobs and stuff like that. So it's one of them times we need to come together as a community and just do the best we can.
Absolutely. And listen, hey, Bill, don't let those two Yamaha yahoos bother you about your wearing a Mercury jacket. I'm a Mercury guy myself, so you got support out there.
Yeah. But before Yamaha was even here, I was wearing the Mercury hat. So
yeah, he was.
All right
that's a fact. I wasn't picking on him because of that I'm per se anti-Mercury. My father retired from Mercury Outboard, so I'm not anti-Mercury per se. We were just, you have to see the jacket. Maybe we'll get a picture and post it on social. It's a classic.
If you don't run 300 days a year and you don't want a reliable motor, Mercuries are great.
It's good to know some. It's good to know some guys with some Yamahas. That way we can come get you.
They're double teaming me this morning.
You guys are outnumbered.
Boy, did I open up a can of worms?
Yeah.
Anyway, real
go
quick. The fishing's been great. Yep, fishing's been great in the Keys, guys. Have a great day. And collect as much as you can for everybody back in the Bay Area. God bless, and I'll be seeing you soon.
Thanks, buddy. Have a safe trip today. It's all good. Light them up on a Fishing for Hope Saturday. We'll be back.
Dude, my dad texted me. He was like, "You have the memory wrong, son." He said, "We'd go to Sam's Club just to eat."
I've got buddies. Their weekly lunch meeting is at Costco or because they're $1 a piece or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Hot dog and a drink for $1.50.
What? How can I get somebody over to watch us online or do whatever we're doing?
Here, I'll text you the link.
Okay.
Van Hubbard said hello, by the way.
Van Hubbard. I talked to Van.
Yeah.
Really regular. He got hammered pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
I like his girlfriend. He's got a new girlfriend.
Carol, she's super nice.
Yeah. She acts like she's got a little money. She's done a little bit.
Yeah, she works with the Salt Strong guys. She's like their right hand. I just texted you the link.
Okay.
hope Travis heard us talking about hot dogs and how Bill and Mike would both choose cheeseburgers. Morning, James. It is duck season opener, I believe, this weekend.
It's going to be a chilly morning for your Saturday, so definitely want to take a jacket. If you're going out and about this morning, most of us will be in the mid to upper 40s this morning. But don't worry, it'll warm up eventually. Today, though, only into the upper 60s. We'll have a lot of sunshine throughout the day. Starts out pretty chilly Sunday morning,
Yeah,
too, right
duck
around
season.
50 degrees, so keep the jacket handy.
Is this morning?
Yep, opens this morning.
What a great day for it.
Yeah.
Highs by Tuesday will be around 80 degrees. I'm Max Defender 8 meteorologist Eric Snow.
You got to be a real sicko to be whacked out over ducks because it's the nastiest, worst weather there is the best.
Yeah, I agree.
And I
Yeah,
just,
Travis and Duck Ranching, they just opened today for their duck season.
Well, my dad was mad at ducks, boy.
Yeah.
Mad at them. I never got the bug. I did it a couple times. I'm like,
I feel like Beth would love it
yeah.
with how good she is at
Shooting
clays.
clays.
it's,
The minute you got out there in that shitty ass weather, Beth would be out. Beth does not like that crappy weather. She likes the beach.
I remember one of the first times I went duck hunting was over Titusville back in the day. It was really, really good over there. And I could shoot, but I could shoot birds easy. I didn't know much thing about ducks, so they put me in this little pothole, and it was dark. I was freezing, man. So all of a sudden, I hear boom, boom. Okay, you know, boom, 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 boom. I shoot all these ducks, and the guy comes over, picks me up, and says, "Where are all your ducks?" And I'm giving this big wad of ducks. He says, "Holy shit, you're 5 times over the limit." each duck had points.
Yes.
And you could only have like 10 points.
Yes.
I had like 50 points. And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "It was a duck."
Right.
I was shooting it.
Well, my dad quit doing it. My dad quit doing it. He said, you paddle all the way out there, drive to the marsh in the dark, paddle all the way out there, set up all these decoys. The weather's horrible. Spend all this money on your license, and you screw up and shoot one mallard hen at 6:40 in the morning, and your day's done. He's like, "I'm not doing it anymore. Not doing all that."
Yeah.
Dad just quit doing it.
I got some buddies that have places over in Lake Okeechobee, and they say for years, 4 or 5 years, they ain't hardly a duck in Lake
Well,
Okeechobee.
it hasn't been cold. It hasn't been miserable. I've tried to schedule a blasting cast the last couple of years. I'm like, I've never done it.
Isn't it a cast and blast?
Whatever. We've had this discussion. I just wanted to go do it. Let's go film it. I mean, why not? I'm trying to do as much stuff before it goes away as I can, just so I can say, hey, I went and did that. It'd be kind of cool. Every time I'm with the right guys that know how to do it and that are good at it, they're like, yeah, we're pretty much going to be fishing because there's no ducks.
I did one with somebody over there in Apollo Beach.
Chet, maybe was it Chet?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Chet
it was
Jennings?
Chet Jennings.
I think
Exactly.
Chet was doing it a bunch, yeah.
We shot at a few. I don't think we killed any, but we had a few shots.
I know Billy's doing guided duck hunting trips. My mate Josh, who's now a captain, he's got a trip on Wednesday. He's got a duck trip Wednesday, so he can't work with me on Tuesday because he's going to scout for his ducks.
Billy Noble's doing ducks too.
Yeah. Billy's been doing ducks for a while.
He's always done that, hasn't he?
Not always, but
Yeah.
he's probably been into it but just before he was done doing the shows.
Yeah.
So
I talked to Billy the other day. He wasn't in a good mood.
he's had a tough toe here. Tough toe. Want to put a shout out to our good friends at Affordable Roofing. Shingle, metal, tile, flat roof. They've been doing it for over 3 decades now. Nobody in my opinion does it better. The Young's Roof as well. We can take care of you. All you got to do is give them a call 1-888-397-ROOF or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Really, really good stuff. Also, on us. Our good friends at Relentless Perpetual Edge Knives are going to do a Black Friday sale, 30% off. The world's first self-sharpening fillet knife. It sharpens as it cuts. It's absolutely unbelievable. Have you seen these, Bill?
Yeah.
Dude, I got one in my bag. I'll show it to you. It's unbelievable.
It's got beaver technology.
Beaver tooth technology. It's incredible, bro. It is really incredible. Why do you light up when you say that? Now Bill's all confused.
Did you see his face? Everybody's confused by it.
That used to get me in trouble now. That was many
Slippery slope. Slippery slope we could be on there.
But,
Go to relentlessknivesusa.com to find a dealer near you or to take advantage of that 30% off for Black Friday deals. They are absolutely incredible fillet knives. You got to check them out. It's good
So
stuff.
to explain for those who don't understand the inside joke from Mike's plug 2 weeks ago.
I didn't make a joke of it. You did.
No, you made a joke of it because you said beaver tooth technology. That's funny.
It's not a joke.
There's not beaver technology. There's no such thing.
Beaver tooth technology.
I don't know. This is the whole re-roof thing. I'm probably wrong again.
You
but
are wrong.
Basically, one edge of the knife, Bill, is hardened like a beaver tooth. So beavers have I think it's the front side of their tooth is super hard and the back side is soft. So over time, as he's chewing on the wood, it doesn't.
It continues to sharpen versus. So this guy, Mr. Lambert, George Lambert's dad, took this beaver tooth technology and rolled it over to. It is kind of technology. I mean, it's taking something in Mother Nature and taking that technology.
I see how you're twisting it. It makes sense.
how did he ever know that about
I don't
beavers?
have any idea. That's a great question. I don't know if one
it's
gnawed
really
on his
cool.
leg one time or
But
what.
does it work?
Yeah, it works.
Because how it was explained to me that I finally started to understand is on a normal knife you have a V edge, right? And as you cut with it, that V edge becomes a U. It loses that sharp point. But because one side of this knife is that hardened technology, beaver technology, it stays sharp. It keeps its point, and then the soft side starts to dull, and instead of becoming a U, it becomes a Y and only gets sharper. So that's how it works.
Yes.
It's pretty interesting.
That's what you got to have. You got to have a D-Hubs to get all deep into the science of the technology.
I like this. I just went up there and sharpened one and started cutting, but why sharpen when they'll sharpen itself?
That's kind of the cool part about it is if you got to fillet a pile of fish, you know as well as I do, if you don't have a brand new knife, you could be there, you do a couple of fish and you got to resharpen, it takes you a lot more time. With the Relentless knives, you don't have to do that. It's pretty cool technology, beaver tooth technology. Let's go to the phones. Let's get our freshwater report from our guru out in Lake Alfred. Let's check in with Ronnie. Ronnie, how are you this morning?
Doing great. Hey, that beaver technology, you better patent that slogan.
Right.
Because it's catchy.
It is. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dylan's
it's
just a
great.
hater. He's just a hater.
I just admire.
real deal.
That's all.
Yeah, it's like re-roofing. It's the same thing.
That's right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good stuff. Anyhow, fishing's great out here. We're doing great. The weather changes is a blessing because the colder it gets, the better it is. The spec fishing is on. We got Lake Rochelle right down the road here, getting nice slabs, getting limits.
That's what I heard. I heard that spec bite fired off. Captain Billy Henderson was all over social media already, and he's really, really good at it. So he said the spec bite's already fired off. That's pretty cool.
It's been great. It has been great. Yeah, we're catching a few nice bass. Even on the dock here yesterday, a guy caught an 8-pounder on a booyah royalty.
The booyah.
Wait, from a dock?
Right off the fishing pier at Lake Alfred.
Wow.
Nice.
Beautiful fish. He come back and showed me a picture of it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, he let it go. That's even better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Fishing's
good.
picking up real good here. So a good time to get out and do your thing.
What are you doing for Black Friday, Ronnie? You got specials going on out there?
I'm doing the whole from Black Friday on through December, buy one get one free on all my hard baits,
including the
booyah.
Whoa, that's a deal.
I mean,
You're gonna sell out.
have literally thousands of hard baits.
That's great.
So big variety, saltwater and freshwater stuff.
Do you sell? I know you have a lot of antique lures in there too. For those out there that are into the antique side of fishing, all the cool old stuff that we've.
Well, I do have a lot of that, but I've sold a lot because I'm trying to sell this business or property.
Okay. I got you.
And I've kind of liquidated. I had one guy bought the whole wall.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So
Nice. Okay.
good stuff.
Yeah, I'll bet.
But, I just want to throw a plug for myself here. If somebody's looking to get into the fishing business, I have it.
Yes, you do.
3,000 square foot building full of it. I need to retire. I'm motivated.
You do retire.
and there's not much of us around anymore.
I'm with you.
These shops need to stay in place because if not, there's going to be nowhere for anybody to get any bait or anything.
I agree. Well, and the nice part about your store, in my opinion, you have somebody who's been doing it for a very long time, who's very good at it, made a good living at it. They can really show you the ropes and kind of lean you into this thing so you don't just have to try to learn it all on your own. So
absolutely.
Give out that number so somebody knows how to get a hold of you. Maybe that'll be your Christmas present. You'll be able to retire.
Yes, I'm going up the Crystal River area, so that's what I want to do.
I don't blame you.
Phone number 863-956-4990. I'm at 380 South Lakeshore Way in Lake Alfred.
You are the man, our freshwater
awesome.
guru. I won't be happy if you go away, just so you know.
Yeah, we're all going to miss you.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, my friend. Have a great weekend and have a happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
All right, partner. Good stuff right there. Ronnie has been our freshwater guru for a while.
Yeah, big part of the show.
Yeah, big part. How many, you did so many episodes, Bill, of Hooked on Fishing. It's a crazy number. Did you do a lot of freshwater stuff too?
No.
No?
I did one with Ronnie, though.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went over there, did something, and then he came to the studio once or twice.
Okay.
There was a hospital over there that was doing a big charity event.
Uh-huh.
So we helped him out with that. And,
Nice.
And did that. It was it was fun. I 23 years since I started TV with my family watching.
Yeah.
That was all it was watching to the end. Times, I don't know, 52, 40 weeks a year maybe for that. That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a lot of shows, man. It's crazy. And if it may not sound like a lot of shows until you're in the business.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of shows.
It's a lot of shows.
Yeah, when we were with News Channel 8, we did 22 a year. And I remember talking to guys like Shaw Grigsby who had a show and all that. He was like, what? You guys do 22 shows a year? And then when we talked to you and all the shows you did, it's even crazier. And then had to go do the live part. So you're doing the filming part and then having to go do the live part to attach to it. Whew.
What blows people's minds was that we filmed it on Tuesday and we showed it on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't Thursday the next year. Right. It was 2 days later.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they're going, you did what?
Yeah.
That's epic.
Don't be dogging our style. Don't be dogging what we do.
You talk about
Cameron would never last.
you talk about having to be creative.
Oh, man.
Come up with some ideas when things aren't working quite right.
We had a show. We had one of our, I think we filmed 2 shows. I filmed 2 shows with you, and one of them wasn't so great. We had to grind a little, and Bill's like, it'll be fine. Just show up. We'll get it all done.
I tell people, I said, if you see the film and we're talking a lot,
yeah, it was a tough
that means
day.
it was a tough day because we can cover it in the studio.
Yeah.
We can handle all that.
Yeah.
But if the video segments are short and sweet, we were reaching for it that day.
It's a
all
dead
right.
giveaway.
Yeah.
Right?
That's awesome.
Good stuff. It's a Fishing for Hope Saturday morning here. Again, the Saturday before Thanksgiving. We're always at Metropolitan Ministries. 2609 North Rome Avenue is where we will be from 9 to 1 this morning, hopefully helping you unload your vehicle as you roll up on us and make donations this morning. We got a lot of people in the Bay Area that unfortunately don't have the means to put some turkey and dressing and all the goodies on the table for Thanksgiving, which to me is heartbreaking. I can't imagine that as a little kid. I had some of my best memories of those mornings when the whole clan got together at the house and football was on and,
Yeah, Thanksgiving's a special holiday, so
Yeah.
it's good to be a part of this for sure. It's an exciting day, so hopefully we get a lot of food in and can help a lot of people.
What's your favorite memory, Bill, from one of your Thanksgivings when you were a kid? You got one that sticks out to you?
There was no blood in the fist fights.
Well,
Telling it like it is.
That's good, yeah. That's good, Bill.
No. Thanksgiving was football.
Yeah.
Not only was it on, it was always the Detroit Lions and Chicago Bears or something like it was on every
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. But we had a great place to play out in the park right in front of our house, and there'd be a huge football game.
Oh, that's cool.
Huge football game.
I saw this funny meme this week, and it was a Mike Allstott highlight reel, and it's like me getting ready after the Thanksgiving meal to truck my family. It was awesome. Brings back good memories.
Yeah, right.
Everybody has those memories.
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Good
for
stuff.
sure. And we've got a lot to talk about this morning. There's a lot of big news happening right now in the offshore fishery.
Yeah, red snapper season.
Red snapper
Extended.
season got extended for private recreational anglers. The governor and FWC just announced yesterday they're adding 17 more days to the private recreational season, which was already at a record long length. They've added December 6th through 8th, December 13th through 15th, December 20th through 22nd, and then it's going to be open Christmas Eve through New Year's Eve, so the 24th through 31st. So it's been open June, July, and then weekends in October, November, and now it's going to be weekends in December, and then that whole week between Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So a lot of extra days for private recs. Our federal for-hire season opened November 18th. It's going to be open until the end of the year, December 31st. So tons of opportunity for red snapper. The frustrating news, though, is they announced lane snapper is going to be closing on the 26th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so last day
I thought you
for
said
lane
it was
snapper
doing
is
so
the
good.
25th. It is. That's why it's closing. Kind of an oxymoron, right?
Makes no sense.
Yeah. Unfortunately, federal fisheries, there's some issues with the way things work, right? We're all familiar with that, and one of the issues is science really struggles to catch up to what's happening on the water. The science is always lagging behind what's happening on the water. For example, gag grouper right now, we're managing gags based on a stock assessment with a terminal year of data of 2019, meaning the most updated science we have for gag grouper that we're managing on is from 2019, 5 years ago. And so
I just can't.
lane snapper, I've been going to council meetings since 2016. And since that time, I've been at the podium in public comment, on public record, talking about how you guys need to do something with lane snapper. We're going to have a problem. It's closed 4 times in the last 5 years while I've been asking them to do something. And it's just slow. It's really frustrating. I've got something in the works.
Shout out to our good friends people looking for long-lasting customer relationships. Give me a call today at 813-657-8818 or look them up online at brandonAC.net. We'll be back.
So Angel asked, she can't make it today, so can I post a link to where to donate? I'll post the link here, but just make sure you comment Fishing for Hope. There's a little comment box in the bottom of the donation form, so make sure you comment Fishing for Hope so they know it's part of the Fishing for Hope event.
I've been telling you guys for years now about Pro Marine Performance Centers being the premier Bay Area boating resource. Well, now they've added another great location to serve the boating community. They're still in St. Pete at 9293 Bay Pines Boulevard, but they've added a great new location at 5005 U.S. Highway 41 North in Palmetto, where they're doing Yamaha service and selling the popular Sea Hunt boat line. Pro Marine
Paul Brown, it takes a long time. It's not so much that they're learning to listen. It really takes something fast, like something simple, like a very simple what's called framework amendment is the quickest way to get a regulation passed, and the quickest possible timeline that you could pass a regulation through is, remember, the Gulf of Mexico Fishery Management Council is an advisory body to NOAA. So if you bring up a really good idea and everybody's like, that's a great idea, and it's something very simple like a size limit change, something very small, it has to be introduced at a meeting as a draft paper, then it comes back at the next meeting as you can sometimes skip public hearing, and then it has to go final. So it might be 2 or 3 meetings at the fastest, and those meetings only happen every 2 to 3 months. So it takes 6 months to pass something that everybody wants, everybody agrees on, it's unanimous. Then once it passes the Gulf of Mexico Fishery Management Council, it has to be transmitted to NOAA, which takes 2 to 3 months. Then once NOAA has it, they have to go through rulemaking, and rulemaking process can take at the fastest I've ever seen it happen is about 6 to 7 months, but it can often take 12 months. So if you want to do something really fast that everybody agrees needs to be done, it takes about a year and a half. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. You wonder why everything's all jacked up.
Yeah.
That's why these idiots with the roads, hey, we're going to put in this new road and it's really going to help. You needed to put the road in 5 years ago.
And by the time they start the road construction project and get to halfway completion, it needed to be
twice as wide.
Yeah.
It's just rocket ship ignorance. It's unbelievable. Captain Jim Fogel's on the line for our safe boating tip of the week.
You better hurry up.
I'm going to go to him right away.
There you go.
He's been around a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Fogel? He's done hundreds of these for us. Hundreds. I tried to do them myself for years, and it's hard to even my schedule just to sit down and get them written out and thought out. And when he jumped on board, I'm like, hey, he's like, yeah, I'm all over it. I'm like, that's great. Safe boating tip's a no-brainer. Plus, it's a great piece to get sponsors, Everybody wants to sponsor Safe Boating Tip.
Yeah. There were 3 old fishermen sitting around talking. One was 60, one was 70, one was 80. And the guy 60 says, man, getting old is tough. It's really tough. I go to the bathroom, feel like I got to piss. I go in there and I can't piss. 5-6 times a day I go in there and I can't. Getting old is tough. 70-year-old guy says, you think that's bad? I feel like I got to take a shit 5 or 6 times a day. I go in there and sit on the toilet, I can't take a shit. Getting old is tough. 80-year-old fisherman says, you guys, you got another 2. He says, 6:30 I piss like a racehorse. 7 o'clock I take a shit like you wouldn't believe. So the 2 young guys said, well, what's wrong with that, Cap? He says, I don't wake up till 8:30.
Not par for the course.
That's funny.
Everybody can relate to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you on the next break.
Welcome back. 654 here at the iHeartMedia Empire Fishing for Home Saturday. We'll be there from 9 to 1 this morning at Metropolitan Ministries at the Holiday Tent, 2609 North Palm Avenue. Buy a free and load them. Come hang out with us for a while. We'd love to see you. I want to shout out to our good friends at Innovative Pools and Spas. They've been over 35 years of experience in building pools in the Tampa Bay area, continuing the legacy of their father's company, which to me is an awesome deal. Family business. Nobody does it better. They raise the bar in pool construction, design, and features. Unparalleled passion for the industry, along with a deep-rooted commitment to this community. Give them a call today, 727-788-1650, or visit them at innovativepoolsandspa.net for a free estimate. Good people doing it the right way. Now is the time to get your pool into plans to get it done.
They have that fall sale still going on too. So for less than $50,000, you can get a 72-foot perimeter pool, 5 different options, 350 square foot of decking, up to 5 foot of depth, LED lights, automated pool equipment, all for less than $50,000. So call them now.
And they do the repairs on pools too. So if you're having issues from the storm, Innovative Pools and Spas, some good people to call as well. Again, over 35 years in business. 727-788-1650 is the number. Let's get a quick safe boating tip. Our good friend Captain Jim Fogel. What you got, Jimmy? Talk to me, brother.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, on my way to work with a bunch of Wounded Warrior students this morning. We're going to put on a class all day for them.
Nice.
And make them a little more confident when they get out there on the water, hopefully.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Attaboy.
Yeah, we're working on it. My tip today was something I actually didn't even realize until I stumbled on it yesterday, and that's about these giant blow boats that we've got out there. You know what I'm talking about? The ones with the big fans on the back.
I love how you called them blow boats.
Blow boats.
I was trying to figure out what he meant. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't understand the word. I know exactly what he means.
Yeah, well, the ones of you that run them or go out on them, they're supposed to have a muffler on them. They're pretty noisy, even with a muffler, but without a muffler, they're really bad. If you own one and drive one, you want to be really careful. You want to stay away from other fishermen. If you're out in an area where there's dive flags, of course, you want to stay away. And you are supposed to have an orange flag 10 feet above the deck of your boat. Now, I don't know if everybody does that or not. I'm not around them very often.
Right.
But I just want to remind you that you do need that flag. I think it's 12 by 24.
Okay.
So let's make sure you got one of those on that boat before you go out there.
Yeah.
Those things, they skim around in that skinny water so much, they can be behind a hedge and you not even see them until they're on you or you hear them or something.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
Let's stay on that. I'll have more for you tomorrow.
Okay.
Guys, have a great show. Appreciate the time. For the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete, Jim Fogel. Stay out there.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
So he was talking about airboats.
Yeah, he's talking about airboats.
I'm thinking sailboats.
As soon as he said blowboats, my mind went negative to blowboaters and sailboats. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Airboats. Airboats.
How about that?
Airboats have to have the flag.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't remember seeing a whole bunch of them. You run into a lot of them, Crystal River, Steenhatchee, Cedar Key.
Behind the hurricane, there was a lot of them.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'm sure.
We had a lot of them around the pass and stuff like that after the hurricane.
Might have been the safest way to get around, actually.
Yeah. I went right to sailboats when he said that.
Yeah, blowboats. That's pretty funny.
People like sailing, and that's fine. Everybody likes their own thing. I got ruined on sailboats. My dad had this, we went on a family vacation. It took 45 minutes to get there with the charter boat. We stayed for the weekend, and my dad was like, well, I'm going to have my friend pick us up in a sailboat. This island, Joe Island, you know where Joe Island is.
Sure.
It's right inside the Skyway. So it took 45 minutes to get there with the charter boat. On the way back, sailboat picked us up. It was supposed to be this fun thing. It took 9 hours. Yeah. 9 hours to get home.
Right.
It took 3 hours from the Skyway to get to Potter's Pier.
Every time.
I could have swam faster.
Every time I see a sailboat, every time. It doesn't matter how big they are, how small they are. You know what I see? I see a great artificial reef.
Fishing.
Give them some ideas. It's funny. This morning when I woke up, we're in a new house. We're in a rental house,
Right.
And nothing's in the same place. And I haven't gotten up early to go do anything in a while, especially this early.
Right.
And I'm making noise, fumbling around. But I started thinking about the people that we're going to see today, that we see or I see once a year, and. One of the names that came up is Mark Twero, and
He always shows up.
yeah, his dad Manuel Twero worked for Tampa Wholesale Liquor,
Okay.
big wholesale whiskey operation, and a good buddy of mine was a salesman. I think Manuel was the sales manager, but he loved to fish, and I went fishing with Manuel. I worked for Tampa Wholesale Liquor for a while, taking care and running. They had a big 41 Hatteras.
Oh, wow.
And but I took a lot of those guys fishing through the years, and I see Mark every year.
He was one of my regulars in Boca Grande when I was down there for 10 years, jig fishing.
Yeah. Good guy.
Really good. Yeah, really good people.
There's one fella, Jim Merman, Sandy Merman's husband, comes up in a Mercedes or something, and watches every year, brings us something.
Yeah.
Wants to see you, wants to get a picture with us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good people.
It's pretty cool. It's a really cool kind of deal.
Yeah, hopefully all those people will show up.
It's hard to
a lot
tell.
of
There's
people
a lot of
that
people
were also
displaced.
affected.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see on a hurricane year.
And like for me, being so hyper focused on the beach, like the hurricane impacts, like people like you who live in Tampa, it doesn't occur to me. And like we went after
Mahoney got flooded.
Yeah.
Out off I-4.
And Shane with the Old Salts board, he lives in like, I don't even know where he said, but it's really far off the coast. Like I'm just guessing Bartow, like something like that.
Yeah.
And he flooded, freshwater flooding.
Yeah.
And this other guy I was talking to lives in the middle of Pinellas County in Tyrone area, and he flooded from Milton, not from Helene, from Milton because of all the rain. So it's just a lot of people were affected, not even on the coast, And then all the tornadoes.
Yeah, there seems to be more and more and more of these things. It's a little crazy.
Yeah. Something like since 2017, I forget what the stats were, but prior to 2017, I think there's like 2 or 3. I don't know exactly, but it was some ridiculously low number of major hurricanes had made landfall in the Gulf of Mexico basin prior to 2017. And since 2017, it was like 15.
Yeah.
It was like 6 times the amount.
Crazy, man. We're in a bad little conundrum here.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, waterfront guy rebuilding. Oh, he's the, I can't remember his name, but he's the Eagle Claw rep. You know what I'm talking about, the big guy? Anyway, he walked into Gator Gyms yesterday, and he got flooded, lost both their vehicles, and then, but he said, no, we just love being on the water. I'm like, and Beth and I have been talking about it forever. I could do it. House paid off. We can afford it. I don't think that's the way to go right now. I don't want to go through that. I just don't want to go through it.
People ask me, well, what are you going to do? So, well, I think I'm telling them, I've lived there since 1961 in that area.
Yeah.
And it's never flooded.
Right.
And I doubt if it'll ever flood again.
Right.
But when you look at
I hope you're right.
Yeah. And when you look at the life insurance mortuary tables, actuary tables, they tell you how long people live. Right. Somebody my age, in decent shape, lives to about 85, 86.
Right.
Okay, so I'm 73. I got 12 more years to go, basically, to 85.
Jesus.
I ain't spending a shitload of money
right.
on this, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to rebuild my house right where it is. I'm going to roll the dice. The house is paid off, but I got a whole bunch of more debt now. But I said, I'm going with it. I'm not spending any more money. I thought I was set for good.
Well, it's like Scott Moore said. I think Scott Moore said the last time they saw Cortez, that type of major flooding at Cortez, was 1921.
Yeah.
So it was over 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So most of us, knock on wood, if we're lucky, won't see that again. Just won't see it again. I hope not too.
God's ears.
Yeah, right. I hope we don't see it again.
Boca Grande was underwater, the whole island.
I know.
Came right across in certain places.
Anna Maria.
Came right across.
Madeira Beach was under 8 foot of water.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
When you think about that and put it all into perspective, we have a buddy, a good friend of ours that has a house on Anna Maria, lives out in Lakeland, a big beautiful house, and he runs charters out of there and gets out for Labor Day weekend. It's like, I want nothing to do with it. He don't need the money. He does charters, keep himself busy and have something to do. And he's always reaches out to me early in the year, every year. Hey, you guys, you want the house for Labor Day? If it's available, he goes, it's always available if you want it. It's yours. So now we got the grandkids coming, the kids and the grandkids, and then I had to call him right away, and he's like, oh, yeah, man, a couple foot of water in that bad boy. You're like, this crushes your whole, all the sand in the pool, and I'm like, Jesus. It's not a big old, it's not a crazy fancy one, but it's really nice. It's on the water. I just pull the boat up. Beth takes the car down, load it full of groceries and stuff, and I take the boat across from O'Neill's and tie it up to the dock, and we just hang out the whole weekend, and it's great. But it's mind-blowing. And, Scott calls the show all the time, so you just, Duffy's and all that. I mean, there's just such a unique place, Boca Grande. I mean, it's just a legendary place.
All the businesses, now I'll say not all of them, but downtown had a foot to 3-4 feet of sand.
Yeah.
Sand from the beach.
In Tampa?
In Boca Grande.
Oh, yeah. The sand was crazy.
Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
It was such a neat experience to be a part of the very first one there, just standing there again with Frank Sargent and standing there with Mel Berman and Bill Miller, and you're just like in awe, you know?
Yeah.
Fishing.
And Glenn Plow.
Tampa fishing royalty.
Glenn.
Was that Glenn Plow? Yeah, the great. Is Glenn coming, do you know? Not going to be there? Oh.
Glenn's living up in somewhere near Tallahassee.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Okay. Well, good for him. Good for him.
That's awesome.
Always enjoyed seeing him and his
He's a good
gal
dude.
at the, yeah. Beth asked me if Glenn and what's her name? Serena. That's it, Serena. I was wondering if they were coming. Anyway, just a great opportunity if you are in the means to give back a little bit. We are going to be there. We know a lot of you are still in the midst of horrible rebuilding, and we were talking about it at the break, all the damage from the storms and all that stuff. We fully understand, but we also understand how much more impacted those are that were, behind the 8 ball, unfortunately, for whatever reason, before the storms. And the storms push you even further back. So this would be a great year to dig deep and come help us out. What's on the list, Bill? I mean, I know there's a bunch of stuff that they're looking for. I know turkeys and hams and.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that people need, and the whole goal of this was to furnish a dignified Thanksgiving meal for the families, and then expose them or talk to them about Metropolitan Ministries and so many of the things that they do for them and for the community. But frozen hams and turkeys are the big deal.
Huge, yeah.
And we'll take as many as those as we can. Other things for a good meal like canned yams, bags of beans, bags of stuffing, rice, potatoes, cranberry sauce, packaged desserts, vegetables, canned fruit, mac and cheese, all those kind of things, non-perishables, are what we need. Now, we'll also accept cash or gift cards or checks or things like that. If you want to go by the grocery store and get a gift card and drop it on by, we'll absolutely take that. But that's what we need, and we hope you can help us out this year. There's a huge need out there this year, and everybody's affected different now. People that we know that were giving last year, they need to be taking. Right. We need to give them some of what they were we were giving them before. So you know what I mean. But anyway,
no doubt.
Come by and see us, 2609 North Rome Avenue.
And if you can't make the event, we've posted in the stream, in the chat on the stream, where you can donate via a link. So if you actually can't make it in person, you can donate via that link. Just make sure when you're donating, you leave a comment there, Fishing for Hope, and there's also an option to click that you're donating on behalf of an organization, and you can type in Fishing for Hope as well.
Nice. Good stuff. So important. Have you been fishing at all, Bill?
Before all the storms and stuff.
The storms, before your house got flooded.
I did. I spent quite a bit of time in Boca Grande. I spent about half the week down there.
Oh, nice.
And every week. And
it's good to be Bill Miller.
Still,
half the week in Tampa, half the week in Boca Grande.
Still tarpon fishing.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Been doing a lot of fly fishing for tarpon.
Okay.
And it's been a lot of fun.
How's Billy Jr.
awesome.
doing? Captain Billy Jr.
He's working hard.
Good.
He's a hard working
I see him every now and then. I'll see the boat buzz by.
He's still doing a bunch of stone crab, right?
Yeah, he's stone crabbing and blue crabbing, and
the stone crabs are crawling.
Yeah,
I heard that too. I heard there's so many of them that
we
it's
got
hard
1,700 pounds of stone crabs delivered yesterday to Don's Dock.
I heard it was hard to move them. That some of the guys.
Oh no. Yeah, come on down to Don's Dock. Yeah,
we got them.
Yeah, our team, Wild Seafood, will buy them up. They bought 1,700 pounds. We're going to get another probably 1,500 pounds Monday.
You could have brought me some.
I mean, yeah.
That would have been thoughtful.
Yeah. Don's Dock Seafood Market. We have them in stock. Stop on down.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah. Lots of stone crab.
Stone crab is a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. So, Boca Grande. How's the fishing in Boca Grande? I mean, we get some reports from old Van Hubbard every now and then. It seems to be doing pretty well.
Yeah. The times that I've been, when I was there fishing along, mainly tarpon, but I'm hearing good reports on the trout and the snook and the redfish and all that. And the tarpon fishing on fly was, that's always a frustrating thing. That's not a catching thing.
Right.
That's a fishing thing.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
And but it's really fun. And then my wife Debbie, my wife, likes to fish for bait with tarpon. We go back into bays and stay out everybody's way and fish some dead bait on the bottom, different places, and it was really good.
Okay.
Yeah, really good. So.
I was thinking about this morning too. Have you talked to Larry Mastery at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, the great Larry Mastery, Mastery's Bait and Tackle.
The reason that I talked to him is he's in there's a lot of great reel repair guys around.
Sure.
But in my mind, for the 4/0 Penn Senator, the purple ones, that Larry's the best because he can tweak them up for the bottom fishing for tarpon like we like to do. And he's one of the few left that can really do that because not many people bottom fish for tarpon anymore.
Yeah.
Which
is too bad. It's a great way to do it.
My reels in Boca Grande, they were all stand up in a little tackle shed. Well, they spent a day or two underwater, and then another 2 weeks or so before I could get down there and get to them.
Right.
So I took him over to Larry, and he's out of he's retired now. And he does it for friends, but
I'm going to reach out to him and get him in here. We need to get him in here to talk to us. I want to bother him, make him get up early. That'd
be awesome.
Yeah.
You talk about fishing knowledge. Man.
Oh, dude.
From St. Pete, that guy's got it.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I love fishing with all the masteries.
Sick. Well, I often thought to myself that and I knew that Larry did the show with me a bunch back when we were at the other building before Dylan came on, and Larry was a great go-to guest for me. And I often thought sitting there, I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. The fish have to be absolutely running scared. Bill Miller and Larry Mastery are on the same boat coming to catch you. That can't be good. Like, that can't be good, dude.
Your chances are slim.
Yeah, if you're a fish, you're like, oh, damn, today's going to be a long day. This is not going to go well.
I love fishing with him.
Yeah, great guy. He's a great guy. What a good human being, man. I enjoyed our conversations at the break. Obviously, our conversations on air, but super good dude. Super good dude. Never gave me too much information, though. Always kept that stuff straight, a little tight to the vest. He'd be like, oh, yeah, you're fishing that tournament too, huh? Yeah, you're fishing for second place.
Yeah. he lives over in Tierra Verde. He's maybe a block from the water. And just the way things happened, he never got flooded, never had any damage.
Oh, good for him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good for him.
That's good news.
So, and I haven't been down there at all. Mastery's Bait and Tackle. Did he sell it? Is there somebody running it? So somebody's
It's
still running
still a bait and tackle shop.
Okay.
But he sold it, I don't know, a year ago.
I wonder if there's a different name on it. Is there a different?
It is.
They changed the name?
Yeah, not smart.
Oh, no. Too bad.
Yeah, I haven't been in there.
Yeah, I haven't
because
either.
Larry's not there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably great. I just haven't been there, But Mastery's Bait and Tackle was just such a, such a classy name. Man, he won so many tarpon tournaments, kingfish tournaments, and Jesus, what a machine. Sneaky good tarpon fisherman, bro. Sneaky good.
Tarpon fishing is a lot of fun.
It is. If you do it right, and very few people that I've ever met can do it any better than Larry Mastery. I mean, seriously. And he was tarpon savvy too. He was tournament savvy too, which made him really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one thing about being able to go catch fish, and there's a whole nother trick to winning tournaments, whether it's redfish or bass tournaments or whatever it is. There's a whole nother mindset that goes into it. And, the really, really great ones they figure out something different on tournament day. They just go into a different mode. So Larry Mastery definitely missed, and I don't know. He probably doesn't listen anymore. He's probably sleeping.
I don't know, but we talk once every week or two, maybe.
Yeah. I know you guys were tight, so that's cool. I was thinking about that this morning. I'm like, I have to tap old Larry Mastery and tell him get his butt up early and come hang with us a little bit.
His cousin Jay Mastery,
yes,
that owns Mastery's Bar down in St. Pete, downtown St. Pete. He's another top-notch.
That's a fishy
A1.
cat too. Yeah.
The dude can fish, man, and I loved fishing with him. I loved listening to him talk. And
I think if my last name was Mastery, and I was in the fishing business, like even on my T-shirts, I'd have the name on the back of my shirt. Like everywhere I
Like a
went.
jersey?
Yeah, even like if I had a tank top on, the name would be on the back of it, like 24/7. I'm
Just
just
get it
like, just so you
tattooed.
know, yeah, or just get it tattooed. Yeah,
There you go.
I'm at the beach, my name's on the back of my shoulders.
They're not like that at all.
No, they're not, but
They
I
don't-
would be.
They don't want logoed boats. They don't want anything.
That might be why the
about
good Lord didn't make me that good at that.
anything.
Because I'd have been a jerk. I'd have been like, hey, right here, dude. I've been like LeBron pointing at my back, the name on the back of the jersey, going, hey, I'm a mastery. Right? Seriously, dude.
I feel you.
Yeah, them guys are talented, man.
Yeah, it's
Super
great
talented.
fishy family.
What do you suppose? I'm going to pick your brand. Let's see what you'll give us some dirt. What's your favorite? If you're doing dead baiting for tarpon, what's your favorite bait? What's your go-to bait? Is it shad?
Yeah.
Shad?
Yeah. Shad over everything. That's the Gulf Menhaden. A lot of different names for it. Some of the commercial guys call it razor bellies because their bellies are real sharp. They call them pogies. If you're on the East Coast, and they're called pogies. And I'm not sure what makes them so good, but I got a pretty good feeling it's the oil.
Sure.
And they're really, really oily. And
Now, do you cut them? Let's say if you luck out and you get some
cut 'em.
shad, you just cut them.
yeah, you cut them and just say shads are usually the size of your hand or bigger.
Right.
And you can make 2 baits out of that. Just cut them in half.
Cut them in half, sit them on the
And,
bottom.
Yeah, and they don't last very long. If you catch some shad, you could use them 3 days.
Right.
Other than they get too soft, and the pinfish and the crab just eat them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go for it.
I don't spend a lot of time fishing with them. I don't fish that way. It's just not something I've done. I know how effective it is, but I notice when the shad show up on the south end of the bay, how excited some of the boys get. Captain John McClay and Captain Jim Pollard and some of them guys are like, the shad are here, the shad are here. Captain Kyle Nifong, they're out there chasing them around with their cast nets trying to catch them shad for tarpon bait.
It's not easy to catch shad.
No, it's not easy.
Well, it is easy at times, but it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
You
gotta
got to
be
work
on the
at
water.
it.
Yeah.
The day before, if you're lucky, you might be able to catch some the day you're going fishing. It's just a different way. That's all. You can catch on live pinfish or crabs or jigs in the pass or whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
Artificial
artificials.
things.
Yeah.
But for me, in my stage of life, I like going back there and finding me a little edge of a bar somewhere or a little pothole back there that I know the tarpon come in and out of. I can go back there and fish, 3 or 4 hours and have some fun and then come in. But and I'm out of everybody's way. Try to be anyway.
That's kind of the key there too when you're fishing dead bait for tarpon is to find that traffic area.
Yeah.
You want to find that transition area where they tend to move through a lot. They use, even on the beaches, they use certain troughs and certain edges
Certain
as travel
lanes.
little highways. And if, the greatness of a Larry Mastery is that Larry did a good job of figuring out where those traffic areas were. And that's why he would have such great success dead baiting it. Doing all that stuff. So, good stuff. We got Donald in Luce and the great Captain Jeff Page. I know he's got some he's probably going to tell us. We got him here on the horn too. So we'll try to get some of
Because he was such a talkative,
animated
guy.
Oh yeah.
But I said, well, I can fish with this guy. I don't know who he is, but he's a good fisherman doing artificials. After a while, I started counting. He would cast at least twice, sometimes 3 times more than I would. I'd make a cast and I'd reel in, check my bait in. And by the time I made that cast, reel in, check my bait, he's already reeling, he's casting again. Yeah. He was a machine. Yeah. And he holds the reel crazy back behind the reel or something.
Right, yeah, he holds
sticks
the
his
rod
arm
out like
out.
that, yeah.
He casts like a beginner.
Yeah.
But the guy's a machine, man, and he can catch fish too.
Dude,
I love being with him.
I caught him several times. If he doesn't have a trip, he'll splash his boat at daybreak and just run areas and go look. Like he might only be out in the water for an hour, hour and a half. Just run out and look. Where was the bait this morning? Oh, the mullet moved over here. Hey, this one happened. I mean, dude,
Keeping
really
his thumb on the
fishy
pulse.
cat. And talking about a guy who figured out how to win tournaments. Not just compete in them, but how to win. And I think Murphy was a big key to that. and that Murphy was really good at it. A lot of people don't like Rick, but Rick was really good at, not only is he a really good fisherman, but he was really good at figuring out what it took to win on game day. That was the tough one for me. I had a lot of top fives and top tens, but actually putting yourself over the top is the hard part of that game. Especially, with great competition like we had here on the west coast of Florida with the Watts brothers and Murphy and Page and, the Woody Gores and there was just so many great artificial fishermen. It was crazy. And we're quite thankful that some of the guys never got into it. Frank Bachnick, good thing he didn't do it. We'd have never won nothing. He'd have never beat that cat, bro. Never. Funniest Frank Bachnick story ever. So I filmed a show with him.
He let you do that.
So Eric got it done.
Oh, okay.
So Eric got it done. So we're on the boat, and we're in this pocket down in Boat Grant. I don't even know where we are. Couldn't find it if I wanted to. And all four of us are on the boat throwing artificials in different directions, and we're all catching redfish, snook, and trout on almost every cast. It's crazy. Billy, trying to be polite, says, "Hey, Frank, just so you know, Mike and I would never, ever come back to any of your good spots. We wouldn't do it." Frank never even looks at Billy, never even acknowledges hardly that he said it. He just keeps casting. Goes, "Oh, I don't care. This ain't my good shit." And he just keeps casting. I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, bro. You caught 50 fish on artificials in this one little pocket. And Frank's like, "Man, whatever, dude. You can come back here. It's not my good stuff." Of course it's not.
Guys like
Freak
that,
of nature.
especially down there in Boca Grande, they don't give a shit about tarpon fishing. But I've got a pretty good little network down there. Hey, saw some shad down off Marker 67, or there's some shad behind devilfish or things like that. Because very few people catch them. It doesn't matter. And so those guys help me out a lot when I'm down there.
Well, it's fishing in general is there's very few people that stay completely to themselves that are really, really good at it.
You gotta have a
You
network.
gotta have a network if you're gonna. That's why the Watts brothers were so successful when they went on their big run on the tour. Their network.
I think that's true of anything in this world.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Well, I like to look at it a little more scientifically. Like if you surround yourself with good people, then you have a chance to be successful. You gotta take the time to surround yourself with the right people.
That's true of everything as well.
100%.
Business world, anything.
Yeah, good people help you.
Your 5 closest friends are who you're going to be like.
I just had a fun thing the other day, in Thanksgiving night at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, the IGFA had their big banquet of the year where they recognized the Captain Hall of Fame, IGFA Captain's Hall of Fame for the year. And Bobby Buswell was elected and although he passed away, he knew he was in.
Yeah.
But we inducted him on Thanksgiving over there at the IGFA banquet. It was
awesome.
Cool.
Oh,
So
I bet
cool.
that's awesome. Welcome back. Putting a quick shout out to our good friends again at Affordable Roofing David Torres and his family on the boat several times. Him and his daughters, great people. Give them a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF for your free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Let's try to get a call in here quick. We're going to go to Donald and Lutz because he's been hanging on, but we want Capt and Jeff Page to stay with us, even if we got to drag them through the break here. Captain Bill Miller wants to tell some funny stories about Page, I think. So let's go to Donald. Donald, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Last Saturday, I had my kayak club outing at by the Skyway going to Tarpon Key. There were 13 of us.
Nice.
3 of us got slams, including myself. So it was some great fishing. I picked a great day. And
You were in Newport Richie? You said you were in Newport Richie?
Yes, Newport Richie.
Newport Richie, perfect. Yeah.
Fort Hudson. Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
exactly?
Where-
There at the channel markers.
Up in Newport
Channel
Richie, that's
marker
perfect.
number 47.
Okay,
Up there.
Perfect.
Newport Richie, yeah, perfect. Nowhere near Tarpon Key.
No.
Attaboy.
But you know what I did see, though, which was really weird? A picnic table from Fort DeSoto Campgrounds. I know it was a Fort DeSoto Campground picnic table.
All the way up
because
in
I
Newport Richie.
so many times. That sucker just came flying out and just hit the Gulf Stream and just kept going north.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Behind the storm, we had trash cans 4 miles north of John's Pass, and my bait tank was 2 miles south. Explain that. Doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah, it's like my fence just disappeared.
That's in your neighbor's fence now. All those white panels, it was finders keepers after the storm.
No doubt. No doubt. Are you coming today, Donald? Are we going to see you over there at Metropolitan Ministries?
Oh, absolutely. And I got a few cases of food as well.
Nice.
So
good.
I'll be helping out as always.
Okay.
I love doing that. I've helped out for years, and I've done other stuff with Metropolitan Ministries. I remember bringing my kids like 20-something years ago, toys and stuff, and showing them, look, you guys are lucky, that you get to have new toys and stuff, and these children don't. So my wife has volunteered there, with the toy drives, just all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
We just love Metropolitan Ministries. It's it's not just for this part that we should do. Should be year round. So
agreed.
It's a great thing because I feel blessed for what I have, and so it's going to be awesome.
We look forward to seeing you, brother. Look forward to it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You guys take care.
All right, partner. See you here in a couple hours.
See you there, Donald. Thank you.
He is the man. Very giving. I'm not going to go to Jeff yet. I don't want to go to Jeff on a short thing. Hopefully he can hang on because we're going to need to talk to Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested in these
He's
stories.
Captain Jeff Page. And, yeah, I'm sure there's some few shenanigans went on with old Bill Miller and Jeff Page.
See what
Beaver tooth technology.
I was going to say you might know her, Bill.
I'm going to hit the head real quick.
It's got a good handle.
Yeah, it's super sharp, so be careful. That thing is freaking crazy sharp. Yeah. And they make 5 different ones, and now they're doing a hunting knife. They just brought in a guy from Buck. It's a Tampa-based company. That they came to me originally. They wanted to have a meeting with me, so I went and met with them. We had lunch at the Getaway, and the thing that originally I'm like, dude, their original retail price was $200
for this knife.
And I said right away, I was like, dude, now. I called Jim Bickley, and I'm like, dude, $200 fillet knife. And he goes, hold on a minute. I sell pliers that are $400. He said, it depends on the knife. He said, that thing. Dylan's got one on the bait station on the boat, on the Friendly Fisherman. It's been there for 7 months, no rust. Yeah. I mean, that's what I did. I tried to help them. I'm like, let's get it in some people's hands that fillet a lot of fish. So obviously you want the Hubbard's guys, and I sent it up to Crystal River to them guys at the plantation, where they're cleaning redfish every day and all that stuff. And everybody just rave reviews. I've had one guy, Mistretta didn't like it, but he's left-handed. So I don't know what that, depending on which side the edge is on, I don't know if it doesn't work good for Mistretta. He didn't like it, but everybody else loves it. He's like, I heard you talking about it. I'm trying the damn thing, but I don't get it. You're the first one. Everybody else I've talked to loves them. But they've now been able to get the price down. They rigged in some new technology, some new stuff to bring them down to like $100.50, which is still a lot of money for a fillet knife. But,
Yeah. I'm still a Dexter
Well, I
in
get,
Chicago color.
I get it.
Those two knives, that's all I need. The 8-foot one,
Yeah.
just so I can just love the wooden handle, but the white one will work.
My dad loved the Mr. Twister electric fillet knives, dude. He could go to work on some freaking specs, bro. He could do a pile of specs in no time with that thing.
Gene, right now, an elbow run peaks for tuna and wahoo is a great idea. Trolling between the elbow to the middle grounds too.
Do we have any reports on kingfish?
There's
A good one?
Shitload of them out there in deep water. I mean, the
Say
guys
it.
at King of the Beach caught a bunch inside 30 miles, but we're seeing them offshore.
They're just not close yet.
I mean, they caught 15, 20 fish. I think it was 1,500 pounds of kingfish was brought in to our seafood market after King of the Beach.
Oh, wow.
So, and those were all caught within 30 miles, or at least they were supposed to be.
But I'm talking stuff like inside state waters.
Yeah, the tournament winner was in G-Cut.
Really?
The 43 pounder was in G-Cut. He caught a 33 and a 43 in G-Cut.
Yeah. Have you been hearing all the nonsense with that?
No.
Yeah. I talked to Nathan yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
The 39 hour said they got a dozen mutton on board.
Oh, wow. Look at that little guy, where he was caught.
What?
Little guy off the beach.
Oh, nice one. That's a permit, right?
Yeah, little perm. Little perm.
I got somebody that texted me, said they're watching us. I sent them that link, sent out the link a few places.
God, look at that trout, bro. Jesus. God, look at that trout, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Texas.
Looks like a salmon.
Yeah, Texas, big old Texas trout. I haven't been out there to do it yet.
I got a lot of buddies over there if you want to plan a trip. You could do a cast and blast over there real easy.
I want to do it. I want to go fish it just while I still can and can still make it a real animals adventure, but such a long drive towing the boat.
I can reach out and see if someone runs contender.
That'd be great. On the inshore side?
Yeah.
That'd be great. If somebody had one, and he was worthy of fishing with, I'd go out there in a heartbeat. I probably just need to suck it up and make the drive. I talked to some guys that have done it though, George Gods and them, and they were like, dude, the drive's brutal. I wanted to go do a show, and I wanted to go do a walleye show in my home waters in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to take you 24 hours to get there with the boat and truck.
Yeah.
You know? It's a long drive.
Angel Perez is riding you, Mike.
What'd I do?
You're yawning.
I'm busy, Angel. I don't know what to tell you.
She says you look cold and tired today.
I always look tired. I'm old. I'm not a morning person. Everybody's like, what? You fish for a living? Yep.
I'm a morning person. I love it.
Still not a morning person.
I've transferred out of mornings since I don't have really a whole lot to do anymore.
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, I still get up at 6:30. It's not 3 or 4 or 5.
Welcome back. Putting a shout out to our good friends
at AC Cooling again for over 20 They do it all. Give them a call today. 813-657-8818. That's 813-657-8818. Or look them up online at BrandonAC.net. Let's go to the phones. Our super patient
excellent friend here, longtime friend of the show, Captain Jeff Page. We need some dirt stories on Captain Bill Miller here. That's what we need.
Oh, I got dirt on both y'all.
Oh, let's hear it.
Oh, now Dylan's excited.
I'm perked right up.
Oh, but we're not going there. It's the holidays, man. It's the holidays, and you guys do too much good to pull out a little bit of dust.
You can text me, buddy.
This thing you guys do with the Hope Ministries that Captain Bill and you've been doing for all these years is just such a blessing to folks that, maybe they don't even listen to the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's the goal, man. Just try to help those we can help, man. We're blessed enough to be in the fishing business all these years. I just look at it as a great opportunity to give back.
It's absolutely what you got to do.
I heard Bill a little earlier say, and he is correct, first ever TV, anything of notoriety I ever did was on Hooked on Fishing with Captain Bill Miller. And it was just a little shorty that we did with Lisa and Mark Nichols, and it wasn't really even a big one. But then Bill, I guess he felt sorry for me or something. He said, how'd you like to just do a full-on show with me? And I said, I'd love that. So we planned it, and we got all suited up. It was about this time of year. It was getting cold. Mm-hmm. Bill brought these duck boot waders. There's waders that have stocking foot that you put wade booties over, and then there's waders that those duck hunters wear that you slip the whole kit and caboodle right on, and they've got the big rubber built-in boots part of it.
I'd forgotten this.
Problem with those is when you're walking in the mud, which where we fished was muddy, sometimes when you go to take a step out of the mud, your foot comes out of the duck boot, but your duck boot stays in the mud, as Bill can expound on.
You're exactly right, Jeff, and I use those duck waders twice, first and last, and ever since then I've got the stocking foot waders with wading boots. Yes. But I tell you, when we went with Jeff and did some of those wading shows, we absolutely murdered them, throwing artificials, and it was such great fishing, and always a pleasure to be with Jeff. When people ask me, how's it, well, you know Joe? I know Jeff a long time. Well, what kind of guy is he? I said, he's a great guy. He's a great fisherman, and he will make a cup of coffee nervous.
That's right.
That's right.
Which means every time I cast, he's already casted 3.
Yeah, that's a fact.
He can go, and I love fishing with him.
Yeah, no doubt.
He makes a cup of coffee nervous. I like that. Yeah, that's a great term.
Yeah, that's a good saying. And it's very spot on with Jeff.
My wife likes that one too.
Yeah, Diane. She's from Ocala, and she's from the Marine store up there. Yeah.
Her dad and her mom. Yeah. Her dad worked out at the old Silver Springs exhibit at the Deer Ranch.
How about that?
And it's funny because I asked him. He's passed on, but Buddy Bullard was a great man, and I asked him once. I said, so doesn't Silver Springs own Weeki Wachee? And he goes, yeah. And I go, Buddy, did you ever get up to Weeki Wachee and see them mermaids? Because I remember as a kid going to the kiddie movies, and they would always have an intermission with those Weeki Wachee mermaids where they would grab the hose and get a little shot of air, and then they'd do their little dance.
Yeah.
And me and my boys, that was the closest thing to Playboy we ever had. Weeki Wachee mermaids.
I never thought of it that way, but you're exactly right.
So I asked Buddy, I said, Buddy, did you ever get up? He goes, oh, let me tell you about those mermaids. So obviously Buddy knew the mermaids.
That's great, dude. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah, man. Everywhere was different back then. If you remember, back when Disney World was first built, me and my brother, we never wanted to go to Disney World. We only wanted to go to one place, and it was in Ocala, and it was called Six Gun Territory.
Oh, yeah. I've been to Six Gun a bunch.
I mean, that was the cat's meow. That was the place to go.
Oh, yeah.
They had, and again, they didn't have mermaids, but they had can girls, and it turns out later when I was a little more grown up and not interested in Six Gun no more, Lisa Fitzgerald was a Six Gun Territory can girl herself.
Come on now.
The Hall
Whoa.
of Fame.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
she doesn't
pretend.
share that a lot, so she might get mad at me, but that's all right.
Let's pretend someone doesn't know what six-gun territory is. What are you guys talking about?
All right. What it
All
was?
right, so six-gun territory. Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you something. You tell something. It was a whole Western town, a whole Western setup.
Okay.
And they had the bars, the can girls. At a certain time, they had a shootout in the middle of the street.
Really?
They had the sheriff and the bad guys. It was pretty cool, wasn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, and you'd all of a sudden you just kind of be like an observer. You kind of got to walk down the wooden deck sidewalks and the dirt road, and you kind of stayed out of the way. And there was like an announcer, and he'd go, like Bill said, there'd be a shootout. And he'd go, oh, there's Black Bart up there on the roof. You better watch out, Black Bart. Sheriff's coming. And all of a sudden, Sheriff would come, and pow, and Black Bart would fall off the roof dead. I mean, he'd fall a good ways. And it was action. Me and my brother, we had our guns and our belts and our hats on, and we pretended we were shooting in the shootout.
That's great.
It was a theme park. Is what it was.
So now we know what's wrong with society.
Yeah.
We lost this.
Right.
I want to bring my son to that. That sounds awesome.
It does. It does.
Okay, so I can tell you there's a Missy King who does a lot of work for 6a-8a with Andrea. She's part of, they do a reenactment on somebody's property up there in Ocala where they try and make it as similar to what it was. And I don't know what time of year they do it, and I've never gone, but Missy always tells me about it when I see her at Miller's Marine. And supposedly it's very good. They got the can girls, they got the shootout, but nothing's like the original. We had a little thing down here in Sarasota, and I bet Bill remembers it. It was down there at Blackburn Point Road. It was called Florida Land, and they had dolphins that would do, tricks and jumps. And if you were a birthday boy, which I was one time, the dolphin would pull you around the pool on a zip sled. Remember the blue zip sleds?
Wow.
They were like a little.
Dude, Florida
like
used to be awesome.
Almost. And the dolphin pulled you around the pool if you were the birthday boy. Then you could go over. It was a lot smaller than Six Gun, and they had a little Western shootout, and they had one of those wax machines that you put money in, and it would make molds of dolphins. And it was a different time. And the most beautiful part of all of it? There was no social media or cell phones or any of that distraction. It was just, you went and did something, and nobody knew you were there, and you didn't have to stop and pause. Oh, I want to post this, or I want to. No, none of that. You had a little Kodak camera if you were lucky.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm blown away.
You're fired up this morning, Jeffrey. I love that.
He's making a cup of
Yeah,
coffee
I am.
nervous.
I am. You guys got me fired up. I talk because the truth is, because there ain't no fishing there no more. But I did a show with Bill back in Joe Bay Pocket, and I did a show with Mike, with my wife, back in Joe Bay Pocket. And I dream, and I've probably top 5 more redfish tournaments in that little pocket than anywhere in the state. And I don't know why. I talked to commercial guys about it. The only thing we can come up with is the same thing happened to that pocket that happened to Bishop's Harbor. And Frank Sargent taught me about that. He said, Jeff, you just missed it, because I started in 99, but I heard in the early 90s up until about 2000, that Bishop's Harbor was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because I fished that pocket quite a bit in the spring, and it's just the last 3 years, it hasn't been very good at all. There were some years there where you could get on a shoreline in there and run a 4-hour charter and never move, catch all the snook and redfish you could shake a stick at, but it hasn't produced like it did the last couple of years.
And then the other thing Bill and I did, I think on another show we filmed, was we had David A. Brown, the great rider, with us, and we took these kayaks with Eddie Zayak, and we found this little trail from that pocket that goes into Moses Hole. And we didn't catch a lot of big fish in Moses Hole, but we caught fish. But the cool part was cameraman Wes followed us as we tromped through the mangroves, and Bill every now and then turned around. He goes, it's getting exciting now here. And then we came out into this beautiful opened up pond called Moses Hole. And luckily there wasn't commercial boys in there running the twine that day. And we caught some small stuff, but I would like to see that episode, because I remember doing that, and it was fun. Then another time Bill and I took Frank Sargent, and Frank had this goofy
tsunami swim bait thing about 5 inches, 6 inches long. And he goes, "You think I catch anything on this?" I go, "Nope." He goes, I'm going to cast it anyway. And he chunked that thing out there once or twice. And about the third cast, he got a 40-inch snook on it.
I remember that. I remember Moses Hole, too.
It gets better. It gets better. He let me hold the snook up, and he did a whole Tampa Bay Tribune story on it. It was called, I still have it laminated. It's called Mud Bogging for Monsters. And I'm holding up the fish that Frank caught on a lure that I told him he wouldn't get a bite on.
That's awesome.
That's killer.
That's a great
dude.
memory.
Yeah, that is cool, man. That is so cool. Frank Sargent, dude, I'm telling you, every time I hear his name or I think about him, there's just so many great memories. The old Frank Sargent show, the way we all used to get together and get excited for that to come. You know, it was such a cool event, man.
I used to look forward to that every year.
Yeah. I mean,
That's where I met John Oliverio in 2001, and I think all he had was Watsies and some boys up there using the poles. He had nobody down my way. And he goes, "I've heard about you. I saw you did some stuff with Bill Miller. I'd like to put a power pole on your boat." And I said, "Well, all right." It was on 18 redfisher I had. And that was the beginning of me and my association with J&L Marine, who is the best business in the world.
No doubt about it. Been a great partner of mine for years as well. So good stuff, Jeffrey. Good to hear your voice, my friend. Really good. Love the energy.
Yeah.
All right, man. And Bill Miller, let's go fishing soon.
We need to do it. Good talking to you, Jeff. Great memories.
See you, buddy.
Hey, maybe you, me, and Mike can go, and we can do a real animals.
Okay, sold. Love it.
All right.
Love to do that.
Let's plan that.
That would be a great idea.
I'll text Mike some good dates for this wintertime fishing, and we don't even have to wait. I've got a little Texas shallow sport that'll get us everywhere we need to be, and we'll catch some fish. And the last thing I want to do is I want to put a big shout-out to one of your Fort DeSoto sidekicks, Mike, because he's always finished second or third. But Brett Norris delivered the mail last Saturday in the Abyss Battery Round 1 series. And I knew he was going to, because our good friend Jamie G had told me the fish showed up at the fort.
Yeah.
And I went, uh-oh, because I knew Norris was going to get him, and he got him.
Yeah, I saw that win, too. Him and Brandon Corwin.
Brett Norris, man. Yeah. He's such a good angler, and he won it.
Yeah, that is very cool. He is a good angler, too. I try to follow him around as much as I can.
If you're not following Jamie.
You're right. Well, one of them. Listen, I'm smart. I follow those two anywhere.
I know you are.
I'm smart.
I know you.
Absolutely.
You know, the underrated one is Jamie's brother, Bobby.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's down in Sarasota now.
That guy's he's a witch doctor himself.
There's no doubt. Yeah.
Jamie than Bobby. And once at the Chuck Lamar, I think I was running it. Me and Bobby got this close. Let's go right here in the breakfast.
Yeah.
And because Billy was out catching bait, and he and Billy got into it. Oh. And that's okay. I mean, people get. Yeah. Then he threw my name in there, and I said, "Where does that come from? I've done nothing but help those guys."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so we got nose to nose. I gave him a shot. I gave him a chance, and he didn't do anything. He might have beat my ass, but if I was going down, he was going to get hurt. I was probably going to get hurt worse, but since then, he's come back and he said, "Hey, let's put that shit behind us. Let's just be friends."
Bobby gets going. He's still that way. He gets going, and then he calms down a little bit.
So 6-gun territory is still happening.
No, it's long gone.
Well, they're doing a reenactment at the Kirby family farm. We just missed it, though. It was November 9th and 10th.
Yeah.
Brian Pugh shared it on the stream. So it is still a thing. They do a reenactment. There's train robberies and everything.
Yeah, it was whoever came up with that idea, but it was I was so small, I have no idea. Maybe in the middle of downtown Ocala now.
Right.
But you were out and looked like nowhere.
Yeah.
And it was a great setup. My parents took me and some buddies up there. Man, it was great. Of course, you buy hats and guns and everything else with the logos on it. But Jeff has Jeff has such a good memory. Jeff does. And I had forgot all about Moses Hole. And I said, I want to go in there.
You can get a boat in there, right?
And you can. So we had to wade back in there, walk through the little cut. He couldn't get his boat in there.
I fished it for years when you couldn't, on low tide you could kind of see back through there, but you couldn't get through there with any kind of boat.
I just thought it would be the most incredible fishing spot in the world. Nobody had ever been in there. We played it up real big.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. We didn't get shit in there. I thought we would, but we didn't. But it was still fun.
We shot a show with Artie Price down in Boca Grande in one of those holes where we got in with the airboat late in the season. It was crazy, dude. Just crazy. I think Frank Sargent was with us too on that trip.
Where's Artie Price now?
Oh, he's still up there, still doing his thing. A little bit.
What's he do up there?
I don't know what his regular job is, but I know he's still running a few trips. I mean, I've had a couple of, guys that I use up there regular, Keith Benson and Dillingham and that bunch that usually fish a lot of my big events still. They, if somebody can't make it, they always throw Artie's name out there. And I don't not think about Artie for any reason. It just kind of fell out of the loop. He just wasn't doing it as much, So, plus they're all running those Texas-style boats, which is good and bad, but you got to have the right anglers. You got to put the right team on that boat for them to really appreciate it. You get some people who don't fish much and aren't big boaters, and it's not going to be very comfortable. They're going to be nervous all day, even though they shouldn't be. They will be just because there's not much underneath you.
Yeah.
So I'm always a little careful. But some of them guys do really well in the tournaments because they get where nobody else can be. Norris runs one a bunch.
Alan Masson said, "Great job on the big buck, Captain Mike."
Thank you, Alan.
He's 1 for 2. So.
Yeah.
Did you get a big buck this year?
I got a good one.
He had a bigger one.
This
in Georgia?
Yeah. The next morning, when I'm tagged out, bro, I saw the biggest buck I've ever seen.
Oh man, that's
It's a good deer. Yeah. Old deer, 4.5-year-old guy. Raining. Hadn't seen a deer. I'm on my phone texting in a box stand. Hadn't seen nothing. I'm texting the boys. Nobody's seen a single deer. They ain't seen a squirrel. Ain't nothing. It's been pouring for hours. And I looked down at the feet and I went, looks like a deer. I put my scope on it. Whoop, put his head up. I'm like, holy shit. He happened to just turn sideways and kind of nose towards the feeder. I didn't even count. I'm just like, I don't know how big he is, but he's really wide. And I hit him. I have to show you the one that came out the next morning. Because Bill Van Bever, who's on my lease, was like, I can't believe you didn't shoot him too. I'd have shot him and asked questions later, bro. He was a retarded deer. Stuff you can think about that you might want for a great holiday meal. Grab it at your favorite store and bring it to us, and we'll help you unload it and chit-chat with you, hang out, talk a little fishing, whatever you want to do. So it's good stuff. Let's check in here real quick with our good friend Captain Bobby Woodard. Bobby, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. How are y'all?
We're good, buddy. What's
Doing
going
well,
on, man? Thanks for
Morning,
hanging
Bobby.
on through Jeffrey. Jeffrey was a little long-winded there, so.
No, all good, man. I'm actually, unfortunately, not going to be able to join you guys today. I'm on the way to Louisiana, but after Jeff, I pulled into a gas station. I got a couple of Red Bulls and a cup of coffee and hoping to be half as energetic as he is.
Good luck.
You'll get there twice as fast, too.
Good luck
But
with
no,
that.
I know it's a short segment here. I just wanted to call in right quick and wish you guys and all the listeners and followers and everybody, a happy Thanksgiving. And, I know myself personally, I have, a ton to be thankful for. And, just always nice to kind of take a second and, reflect back. And, there's enough negative out there, but sometimes we got to focus on the positive and, realize we do have it better than we probably deserve. At least I do personally. And, I'm thankful for that. And,
No doubt. No doubt, my
just
friend.
wanted to call in and spread those words. And unfortunately, like I said, not going to be able to, join you guys today, but anybody who can get by there and drop stuff off, it's a great cause. Selfishly, I had so much joy being part of it last year, and unfortunately, like I said, going to miss it. But I did ask Anna to log on and make a donation from us, so hopefully she did that. I'll double check and make sure she did that. But anywho, that's it. Just happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and get out there and go fishing because the bite's hot.
We appreciate you, brother. Great call, Bobby. Thanks, you, sir.
Bobby. Good seeing you for last year. Hope to see you again soon.
He's a good man right there, the old Captain Bobby Woodard. Want to put a quick shout out. Don't forget, Innovative Pools and Spa. Over 35 years of experience building pools in the Bay Area. Family legacy business. Just great people. They raise the bar in pool construction, design, and features. You can call them today at 727-788-1650 or visit them at innovativepoolsandspa.net for a free estimate. They got their big special going on for less than $50,000. You can get that pool that you've been dreaming about, put in your backyard.
Yeah, lots of features, automated equipment, LED lights, 72-foot of perimeter, up to 5 different models to choose from. Crazy deal. And they do repairs, so if your pool got messed up in the storm, they'll come out and get it right for you as well. So give them a shout, Innovative Pools and Spa.
Good people. Bill Miller, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Look forward
on the other side of the wall, we appreciate everybody that joined us on the live feed that listened to this hideous radio program this morning. A little joy is what we're trying to do. Metropolitan Ministries, again, 26 Rome Avenue. If you want to stop by and see us, again, you don't even have to get out of your car.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, 7 to 9 a.m. Real Animals Sunday on 620 WDAE. Also tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m., the live stream show where we give away lots of free fishing trips and talk more about what's going on and coming up. Remember, Lane Snapper is closing the 26th. The 25th is the last day to get them. They just announced Red Snapper season extension, so take advantage of that. And hopefully we'll see you out there on the water, guys.
Tight lines. Have a great week. Captain Bill Miller.